What's up, YouTube? This is Kadito HD Gaming coming at you with Fuze's best attachments guide. Let's get started. I did skip Montang and I did skip Glass. Montang's a shield op, pistol. I use suppressor and laser no matter what. If you want to use muzzle brake, you can. Other than that, there's nothing else that I can really show in that. Glass, there is something I can do for the bearing 9, but I'm gonna wait until an operator that comes by that uses actual primary that's not a sniper rifle or marksman rifle, and then that uses like an AR or SMG, and then I'll do the bearing 9 test there too. I just don't want to make a like 2-second video being sarcastically uh of just
Take
using
your
the bearing
time.
9.
Really.
But we're gonna start with Fuse. Let's get started. Flash hider. Let's get started. Gun has a 3.4 reload second time. Okay. Maybe angle grip might be a good option for this weapon. We'll find out.
Close quarter shot imminent. Clear action zone.
Oh, my acid reflex. Oh, ooh, 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 ooh. Yo, that was terrible. There we go. That's actually more terrible than I thought it would have been. But what is the first shot? What's the first shot recoil looking like? Bam, bam. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, so I'm just not used to using the AK-12. I don't use Fuze much anymore. Only in certain maps, like 2 maps I use him on. And if we ever get to actually play against somebody that goes to a bottom floor and it's fusible. Other than that, I don't play Ace anymore because he's always banned. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. Let's see what compensator's like. Ooh. Pull down, me. Pull down. Jeez almighties. I just made a V, basically. Jeez. If I can get the pull down, compensator's better. But flash hider's better in general. Mm, honestly, I really,
Reminder to check in with family protection this week.
so far I'm terrible with the AK-12. Something I did not expect to be on my list today. Muzzle brake. Let's see. Did I find a third charm with muzzle brake weapon? I think I might have. Muzzle brake looking good. Huh. Let's see something. Up and straight to the right, basically. Let's test something real quick with compensator now. It improves it tremendously on just staying basically up and not going to the right. But there's a whole lot more, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Huh. Yeah, you got 4 shots here and only 3 here. And then it's because of this main jump on the first shot. but then it's basically
is in the
consistent
workshop
the
for
rest of the
equipment
way.
evaluation.
Okay, let's see what flash hider looks like real quick. I'm only doing this because my recoil control with this weapon is actually pretty bad, it seems. And muzzle brake is the worst when it comes to horizontal. Even though this gun doesn't have much of it, it would theoretically be the worst. But then it starts going back in right here. Yeah, it's just one of those. Honestly, just gonna go to suppressor real quick. And I'll just reshoot the attachments again after I do suppressor. It's not that bad actually. Suppressor's not bad. You want to use suppressor, you can, but honestly, as a Fuze player, suppressor is useless because once they hear you fuse or even tumbling around because you're literally a 3 health, 1 speed, suppressor is not going to do much for you. I've been saying this for ages. I really think Fuze deserves to be a 2 speed. Let's try flash hider again real quick. This time I'm just going to leave it up like this. I'm not going to actually go out of my way and delete everything. And we'll see what the best is by mixing them all up. That's flash hider. Let's try it again. Flash hider in general. Okay, try compensator. See now I'm a little used to it now, so the recoil pattern's not as bad. Compensator. And then try muzzle brake. Oh, there we go. It was different from earlier. So the muzzle brake is probably not an option that I would use. That's muzzle brake. Wait. That's flash hider? No. Wait. Why do they all say flash hider? What? Like, yo. Okay, that's flash hider. That is compensator. And that is muzzle brake. I don't know why, because the orange that I just did is muzzle brake. The blue behind it was the compensator. And then the green behind it, or not green, I mean the purple. You can't see the purple because it had the least amount of recoil. The purple, which you can slightly see right here, is the flash hider. And then the green was flash hider, which no, the green wasn't flash hider. The green was suppressor. Yeah, the green was suppressor. I don't know why it's messing up and it's not showing it, but yeah. Green suppressor. This one flash hider. This one compensator. This one muzzle. Honestly, they're all very similar. Really. Besides suppressor. Flash hider is the best, obviously. At least on my second go. With muzzle brake and compensator coming in tied basically, because they're very similar. So honestly, yeah, I'm gonna go with flash hider. But I will say this: out of the time period I've ever played the AK-12, I have used all 3 barrels before. So don't be surprised if you ever see me using it differently. It really depends on my playstyle and how I feel at that moment. But for right now, to end this video, it's going to be flash hider. Um, that I'm gonna test it thoroughly everywhere else. But we are not done yet because I am going to test at least these 3 barrels still with using angle grip. And I will be testing horizontal just because he is a slow personnel operator. Very slow. See, pulled down too much right there. Let me do it again. That's flash hider. And now I'm gonna hit clear because I think that's why the bug happened. I think that's why the bug happened. See, no, no, because look, I don't even have vertical grip on anymore. Yeah, that's a bug. Ooh, yeah, that's a bug, and it's a terrible bug at that because it's harder to test your stuff. A compensator with angle grip is trash, in my opinion. And for some odd reason, it's not changing when I change stuff. Kind of annoying. Muzzle brake, compensator, flash hider. Muzzle brake don't look. Muzzle brake looks the best with angle grip. I'm gonna be honest. If you use angle grip, I would advise you to use muzzle brake. I'm not testing suppressor. I don't feel like testing suppressor unless you're using vertical grip. I don't agree with using two things that have no recoil uh difference. I'm gonna try muzzle brake with horizontal first since it's what consideredly was the best for angled. Let's see if it's the best with horizontal. See, nope. Still good. Not as good, but still good. Let's see. I mean, it feels like he's running a little bit quicker. Would have to tie it out with vertical grip real quick. Yeah, slightly. You actually feel it a little bit, actually. So, I mean, if you want to use horizontal, you can. Okay, let's try out flash hider real quick. Muzzle brake was not as good, surprisingly, on the horizontal. It wasn't as good as it was with angle grip. Weirdly, flash hider's not bad at all, though. Flash hider, I mean, they're actually kind of similar. Actually, I take that back, especially on that second mag I did. I'll try compensator. I love how it had the first shot jump, and then everything stayed after. If you could, if that's actually, if you could see, that's why I said muzzle brake might not be bad on this weapon. Because if you could clearly see it jump like that, and then it's all your recoil in the same area, that means this gun has a high first shot. And honestly, because of that, muzzle brake isn't a bad option. Like I said, if you use angle grip, I think muzzle brake is the better option. If you use vertical grip, muzzle brake, flash hider, or compensator are all good options. I think since you use vertical grip, that cuts off your vertical recoil. Me personally, if you're already using vertical grip and it already is cutting down on your vertical recoil, Compensator and muzzle brake are probably the better options to go because compensator will cut your horizontal down. Muzzle brake would cut off the first shot recoil, while you still got vertical grip that's cutting the vertical grip off, the verticalness off. Um, so honestly, yeah, after testing everything and actually thinking about that too, I think muzzle brake will be the better option. But if you don't trust everything I done in this video and you feel like muzzle brake is a worser option for you, then I'd go flash or comp.
I guess I have
But I'm
time for a
just
coffee.
saying, if you can literally get used to pulling down slightly, because you obviously, if you use muzzle brake, you're not gonna be able to have extra vertical reduction. Compensator, no vertical reduction, it's just horizontal. So if you can get used to pulling down slightly with vertical grip on, muzzle brake and compensator are better ones because of the actual benefits that come with them. Flash hider, you just get more extra vertical pull. Like, you don't have to pull down as much, that's true. But like, what's the point when this gun, let's do no barrel attachment real quick. This gun really has no kick to it. I even though I had problems during this video, gun has no kick. Every now and then you'll see, like, see, when you see a dip like this, right here, I'm gonna show you something real quick. You see, if I had a mouse, it would be better, but I'm on console. So you see how the green and the yellow are just straight, and then the yellow, I mean, not the yellow, the orange, like you start seeing the like it spread to the horizontal to the right, and then the red even does it more. That's horizontal. And then you also can see they curve in more than what the first two are. And since they're curving in, when you see the recoil pattern, that's why I'm shooting perfect and then it curves off to that. If I, like I said, if I use this gun more often and get used to pulling down and a little to the left, that curve part would not be happening really. And I think if you actually get used to that, I honestly, going to be honest with you, I still think muzzle brake and compensator would be better. Compensator would cut down that. Matter of fact, compensator cuts down on going that way. As you can see, let's see. See? It literally cut it. And actually, let's see real quick. It made it go inwards and almost align with the yellow and green, but it still curves to the right a little bit. And because I am also adjusting, you can see that I went to the left a little more than I did right because I adjusted with my analog stick, obviously. But as you can see, with no compensator is definitely better than having no muzzle at all, or barrel, I should say. Compensator is not bad. Like I said, just saying, like, if you go flash hider real quick, you're probably gonna see that curve a little bit still, because of the fact that it does not help with horizontal. See, like I said, it curved off to the right because of the fact that even though it's actually better than what I did with no barrel, because like I said, I have adjusted with the analog stick a little. I still not helping completely. Flash hider still goes off to the right. But as you can see, the compensator is mainly in the middle, and then the flash hider is a little to the right as it's following the recoil pattern. While muzzle brake will basically do what the flash hider did, but the first shot won't be bad. Let me back up a little bit to 12. Oh, muzzle brake was actually just all over the place that time. Yeah. Let me try it over here real quick. Like right here. I'm gonna be honest. Compensator is your probably best bet mixed with flash hider. If you don't think the horizontal, which this isn't bad horizontal, the horizontal with the AK-12 is not bad. Every now and then it might curve a little too much. It's not bad though. So flash hider is not a bad option. And then this is muzzle brake. Like I said, muzzle brake. The thing about muzzle brake is it doesn't help with vertical. It doesn't help with horizontal. It helps with first shot on top of recentering. Other than that, it's useless. This gun has a high first shot, and that's why you can see the recoil just stays in the same area. Basically, once you actually get a hang of it, and it could be a better valid option. For me, after doing a now second actual, or this might be the third, actual shooting, it is the third actually, I think, session with this, I'm going to be honest. It is a toss up between flash hider and compensator. Because comp is all in the middle. The problem with comp is if you get on the game, say you haven't played the game all day, you get home from work, you get home from school, whatever the case is, you just wake up and you don't have neither of those, work or school, and you just get up and play. Well, if you just get on the game and don't test, don't warm up, don't do anything, and you're just like, I'm gonna jump on the AK-12, and you have compensator on, your aim ain't gonna look as smooth as what this image is showing. And that is just because you're not warmed up. Once you're warm up, that's what it's gonna be like, and that's why I would say compensator is actually not bad, and that's what I would choose. But flash hider, that could probably be your recoil even getting up fresh and early, because you have double vertical. You might see a little bit more curve to your recoil, like going off to the right. You might see a little bit of that until you get it hang. But like I said, if you're aiming chest level, you're normally not gonna have problem. If you're aiming head level, it's preferred to have compensator than flash hider, because flash hider will have horizontal and you can miss from left or right on the head. While with compensator, normally you don't want to aim at the head. Normally you're trying to aim at like the throat, upper chest, because the mixture of the first shot and whatever kick you get with the compensator normally will equal a headshot. Normally, if you don't aim for the head. If you aim for the head, you might miss. But no, me personally, I'm gonna stick with compensator, but I'm gonna be clearly honest. It is a toss up between flash hider and compensator. This is another version, just like I kind of did when I was talking about Twitch. But Twitch is obviously the different story. Where you choose on what you want at this rate. I did the testing with what you saw. You choose what you're more comfortable with. I feel like I'm gonna be more comfortable with compensator. We'll try the LMG now. Okay, LMG, flash hider, vertical grip. Let's test this out real quick. I already made this video a little longer than I should. Okay. Okay, that's flash hider. Let's try comp. I got the whole man on that one. You know what I like about comp though? I don't find myself shooting below the line, but I could have started below the line in the first place. Okay, let's try muzzle brake. Muzzle brake is a hell no. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. Suppressor. Suppressor's not bad actually. Suppressor is like compensator actually. Suppressor is like kind of like the compensator, but then again, like I said, I think with flash hider I shot below the line. That's why what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna go back to flash hider real quick, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna aim right here in the middle. And as you can see, I did that. A little bit was underneath right there, but curved off to the little bit to the right like the recoil pattern shows, but most of it I shot to the left already anyways. I wasn't perfectly in the middle. It's not bad. It honestly, I'm gonna be honest, this is another one where you could choose comp or flash or suppressor. The suppressor's not bad either. Now let's try, I'm gonna try angle grip. Only for, so for the flash hider and for the compensator, I will try angle and horizontal, but for the suppressor, I will not.
Cybersecurity guidelines found
Oh,
under
I didn't. About to reload. I'm not waiting for that whole reload. That is flash hider, and it fixed itself. I just now noticed that it's actually been fixing itself. But no, that is flash hider with angle. That's not bad at all. Compensator with angle. Well, obviously, as you can see, with the recoil, you can't even see the red. So having a hop up like that is actually not bad, because you can't even see the red's not even popping with compensator. So that's understandable though. Let's go back to flash hider and horizontal now. Me personally, the reason why you would use horizontal is because the LMGs give you a 10% negative debuff and speed. And the horizontal gives you 5, meaning you will only be -5 instead of -10. Yeah, it's flash hider. Still not that bad with horizontal. Flash hider and angle is still the best. I don't know why angle feels like it gives you somewhat of a recoil patrol like vertical does. I don't know why, because I never have a good recoil pattern with horizontal sometimes with a lot of weapons. I don't know why though. That is compensator. Clearly was pulling, well, I wasn't even pulling down actually. It's not that I was pulling down, it just kept bouncing up and down. It didn't have bounce left and right really. It was bouncing up and down though. I mean, there obviously still had a little bit left and right, but as you can see, I shot mainly the whole mag and everything was in the damn middle still. If you could, if more of the ammo is bunched up, that normally means it's a better recoil pattern and a better attachment to use. As you can see with flash hider, it spreads out a little bit, and you can even see like some separate bullets. Meaning compensated would theoretically be better with horizontal, but I would still assume flash hider is the better one just because of the fact that there could be my error involved, because not everyone's perfect. But even like right here, I had error. I didn't pull down for literally like 5, 6 bullets, something like that. And then flash hider with angle grip ain't bad. I would personally wouldn't mind using compensator and vertical, or flash hider and vertical. So to get down to it, if you don't like the reload speed, because the reload speed is 8.5 seconds, but it is 100 bullets. Let's be honest here. It is 100 bullets. If I'm gonna be real, if you find yourself reloading this thing at 0, taking you the 8.5 seconds, because as you can see,
Sorry.
I take that back. It might be the 8.5 in general. Yeah, it's the 8.5 in general because it's not a mag. So yeah, it's gonna be 8.5 in general. But if you find yourself actually really going out of your way shooting this a whole mag and having to reload, I'm gonna just let you know right now. You're pre-firing too much. Or you're missing shots too much. I'm gonna be honest. Like me personally with LMGs, I think the better option will be horizontal or vertical. If you don't like, for instance, if it's a one speed operator like Fuze, I think horizontal would be a better bet because he's already slow. You want him a little faster, but then again, I would preferably use the AK in general on him because I don't want a slow fire rate LMG that does high damage, but if you go to the AK, it's a 6 difference in damage, but 680 to 850. Yes, it's understandably that the destruction with the LMG is medium compared to low, but I just think the AK would be a better option for him for close range fighting in general. Then again, the
Want me to get
LMG
in
could
there?
be good too. Because as you can see, it says accurate and short to medium range. And then medium range assault rifle, medium to high stopping power based on caliber. And then capable at long range controlled fire. I just think AK would be your better bet. Even though it's made for only medium, it literally says medium range, while they say short and medium. Honestly, it's personal preference. I use both at times. But I'm gonna end this video here. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you use vertical grip, I think you could use flash hider and compensator. I've done the video, I've done the testing. Now, if you don't like how my testing was and you want to go and do it yourself, test it yourself with vertical grip, flash hider, and compensator. Test it. And then go with what you're more comfortable with. That's what I'm going to do in game. I'm going to use both and see what I feel more comfortable with. Um, Probably going to test it with flash hider since I already had it set to flash hider before I even did this video. If you use angle grip or horizontal, I
Getting
advise to
tired.
use flash hider.
Really?
You can use compensator, but I advise you to use flash hider just because of the fact that if you use angle grip or horizontal on top of a compensator, you have no vertical reduction. Like if I put horizontal on right now and put on compensator, you don't see the red. And then the orange is above his head, above the silhouette's head. So in general, that is I'm not saying you couldn't do it. I'm not saying anyone couldn't do it. I'm just saying I would use flash hider if you use horizontal. I'm actually gonna test it around myself and games, but right now I'm just gonna stick it with flash hider and vertical grip, just for the time being until I go testing myself. And that will be the end of this video because I already said about my pistols. I hope you guys enjoy, like, and subscribe, and I apologize for this video taking longer. It's also because I don't use these two weapons. I don't get to really play Fuze, and when I do play him, he gets banned. Because for some odd reason, I catch people, I either get two assists, a kill, or destroy every gadget in sight, and I get banned. That's just how it rolls, sadly.
Sure. Take a breath.
But
No rush.
not that I get banned. I mean the operator gets banned, and it's like I don't really get to play with it. And honestly, Finka with this LMG, I don't use. I use the Spear 308. I like it. I love it. That's just my personal preference. Even though there's not a big difference in any. The Spear 308 has slightly faster fire rate but lower damage, while the LMG has slower fire rate slightly but higher damage. It's not a big difference. I just prefer not running slow. Just me personally. Now I'm gonna end the video, but I hope you guys enjoyed.